One thing I learned in life is there's some things that you can only learn through experience. And what a lot of people like to do, they'll see you sitting in that chair and they say, man, you should sit like this. You should build it like this. You should move like this, respond like this. But because they're not sitting in the chair, they don't fully understand the position. I saw this in the Army all the time. A private would sit there and think, well, why we got to do this and why we got to do that. But when you become a sergeant and you become a staff sergeant and you become a first sergeant, when you actually have to sit in the seat, it's a whole lot different. Why? Because come over to this chair. The people, that oftentimes are critiquing are standing from this position. They watch you carry your cross and they say, man, you should carry it like this. You should do it like this. Single people critiquing people who are married and, so forth. People critiquing pastors and all kinds of stuff. And I'm not saying that these people are above critique, but let me tell you something. Life will humble you because it's always easy to look from the outside and say, you should do this, do that. But if you come over here, right, I might be sitting in the chair in a way that you don't understand. And number one, watch this. One thing that is different from actually sitting right here as opposed to being over there, I can open this curtain and look at this view that I have. All right. I want y'all to just check that out. I got a completely different perspective. And I see a whole bunch of things that individual could not see beyond the curtain. And because they were not in the seat, they were not in a position, where they could open this curtain and see what's out here. So some of the decisions that I might make, I'm actually sitting in a position where I've seen some things that you haven't seen. I understand some things that you don't understand. I have a certain perspective and it might not make sense to you because you've never seen it. Because when you stand over there, you don't know what's on the other side of this curtain. You don't know that there's buildings. You don't know that there's mountains. You guys did not know where I was until I showed you. Now you can see that I'm in Las Vegas. So watch this, right? If you were watching me in the room, you could think, man, he's in Chicago. It's cold. He's, anywhere that you could possibly think. And you couldn't really tell me, how to move or what to do because you didn't know where I was. That's the difference when the person is sitting in the seat. Same thing. I got the phone right here. Maybe I'm getting some calls. Maybe I'm getting some words that you never heard. Maybe I've had to deal with some things that you've never had to deal with. You've never had to sit here and be on the phone. And that's something that I try to get people to understand on both sides. Please understand that some people, they not going to get it. So you're going to have to sit there and listen to them talk. You're going to have to sit there and listen to them critique. But the reality is they're just not going to get it because they never sat in your seat. They never walked in your shoes, as people would say. And until they walk in those shoes, until they actually sit in the seat, then they're going to start understanding. Then when they actually come from over there and they sit down and say, oh, now I understand why you responded the way that you did. Now I understand why you move the way that you do. Now I understand why you run the church the way that you do. Now I understand people. I'm telling you, man, this is just something that you got to be free from. I'm not saying be free from being corrected. I'm not saying be free, but people's opinions for your life will chain you down. And if you listen to everybody's opinion who got something to say in your life, my goodness, you're going to be miserable. People always got something to say. They're going to say, man, you shouldn't do your videos like this. You shouldn't post your posts like this. You shouldn't, you shouldn't deal with your marriage like this. It's always going to be something to say. Now, what you got to do, though, is know who to open up and let in. I don't just let any word in. I don't just let any. Look, let me put it this way, right? Some people be talking and they do a whole lot of talking, right? And they call you and they got a word for you and they got advice for you. And it's like this, right? But ain't no power behind it. Ain't no spirit behind it. You don't feel God. And then other people, they're going to come and you're going to open up and they're going to give you a word. And you see how that light coming? You're going to just feel a power. You're going to feel an authority behind the things that they're saying. Okay? Or even if you don't agree right away, you're going to go pray about it. And then God's just going to open that thing up. And that's how revelation comes. So some people, please understand, they just can't get it. They can't understand because God hasn't done this in their life yet, or they haven't had the ability to be in the position you are where they have this happen in their life, that revelation and illumination. And then some people simply don't want it. Some people choose to live in the dark. Some people choose to be ignorant. Some people just want to be right. They choose to see it the way that they see it. They choose to feel the way that they feel about it. And guess what? It don't matter. Some people say, you're in Chicago. And you can open it up and say, no, I'm not. I'm in Vegas. And they'll still be like, no, you're in Chicago. That's just how people are, man. You could pull that veil back and show them the truth. And you have to be cool with not sitting there being stressed out and saying, you know what, I'm going to keep trying to prove to you this. I'm going to keep trying to, because then guess what? Now look how my hands are full. I got the phone right here and I got my hand right here. And so that's what it's like when you're arguing and debating with people who just don't get it, don't understand. Now I don't have a free hand. That call comes in for increase. That call comes in for promotion. I don't got a free hand to pick up because I'm so caught up being distracted by what people got to say. Don't let people's opinions imprison you. Don't sit there and feel like, you know what, maybe I'm not qualified. Maybe I'm not this, maybe I'm not that. I'm telling you, people going, especially in the kingdom, no matter what you do, people always got something to say. And usually the people with the biggest mouths are the ones who ain't never sat in the seat. Because when they sit in the seat, life will humble you. People talk about parenting, people talk about marriage. I would do this, I would do that. When you sit in the seat, life will humble you. And as you get older, some things are going to change. And that's why I said some things you can only learn by experience. All right? I love you guys. Be blessed, be encouraged. If y'all want to continue to just help Brother Marcus do what I'm doing for the kingdom, www.marcusrogersministries.org. Y'all be blessed in Jesus' name. Put your prayer requests in the comments.